Hello, my name is Benjamin Goby, and today this is my second interview with...
My name is John Davey, and I have been working on Doctor Who since 2004, playing many of the monsters.
So you're an actor?
As well as many other things. My other jobs include stills photographer, camera operator, cinematographer, creature performer, anything else I'm allowed to.
When and where were you born, and where did you grow up as a child?
I was born in Bristol, which is just down the road, and when, it's giving my age away this, I was born in 1971, which is a very long time ago, and I grew up in Bristol. I've never lived anywhere else in my life. Still live in Bristol.
Wow. When did you start acting or photography?
At school, I really enjoyed drawing, and art was the one thing that I did enjoy. I didn't do very well in my grades for my exams. That was probably down to, I got marked down because and to quote, I used my imagination too much, which is kind of a weird thing with art, because it's mainly about your imagination. But when I was at school, they basically said, no, you have to conform and do what we tell you, artistic-wise. Yeah, so I left school not really knowing what to do. However, when I left school, I bought a stills camera off a friend of mine and started taking photographs, which I really enjoyed. I was also hugely into movies as well. So as a kid, I grew up watching Doctor Who, liking Star Wars, Flash Gordon, Sapphire and Steel, any comedy films going. So I kind of had that in my blood as such. But leaving school, I didn't really have any qualifications in anything. Left at 16, did lots of different jobs, worked in a screen printers, and then I worked in a camera shop, which was very useful. I did that on and off for about 3 years. Then I repossessed cars, worked as a private detective, worked as a labourer on a building site, all stuff that's very uncreative. And then I bought a video camera, started making my short films, things like that. Started making some music videos, and then a friend of mine, she got a job working at an animation company in Bristol called Bolex Brothers. She gave me a call and said, do you want to be a runner on a music video that we're making? And the music videos for Radiohead. So I was like, oh yeah, definitely, because I was a big Radiohead fan. And then probably within 4 days I was in charge of shooting all stop motion animation. Because back in 2003, I think it was, the way to shoot stop motion animation is you actually wire up a video camera and actually capture individual frames. And at that time I just bought a digital SLR camera, and I said, well, can't you shoot the stills on the digital SLR camera? They said, oh, is that possible? And I was like, oh, maybe. And now that is how you shoot all stop motion animation. Going on from there, we shot probably 60 music videos. So we did 2 for Radiohead, Scissor Sisters, The Killers, The Bees, more recently Run the Jewels, Father John Misty. So stop motion animation is one thing that I did, but between jobs, I started doing some background work on TV programs. Then I got a call to go for an open audition where 50 guys turned up. We spent a day marching around, walking around with our eyes closed, doing all these strange things, and that was to be the Cybermen in Series 2 of Doctor Who.
Was that in the first 2 episodes of the Cybermen, or the last 2 of the season?
All 4. They,
All four?
yeah, they shot all 4 episodes. So Rise of the Cybermen,
The Age of Steel.
Age of Steel, Army of Ghosts, and Doomsday. Those are all shot all in one big block.
Oh, okay.
Basically, yeah, Graham Harper, who's the director, was there. And so basically, they shoot stuff out of sequence. You know, shooting 4 episodes in one go is easier than shooting 2 and then another 2 because you have all the actors booked for one period of time.
We have been upgraded.
Into what?
The next level of mankind. We are Human Point 2. Every citizen will receive a free upgrade. You will become like us.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for what's been done to you. But listen to me. This experiment ends tonight.
Upgrading is compulsory.
And if I refuse?
Don't.
What if I refuse?
I'm telling you, don't.
What happens if I refuse?
Then you are not compatible.
What happens then?
You will be deleted.
There's nothing we can do.
Our mum's in there!
She's not your mother. Come on.
So after doing that, I did about 35 days working on that. I just thought, wow, this is an amazing opportunity, something off the bucket list, but I must have been doing something right because I've been back on the show in 43 episodes ever since. And as well as doing that, I've done a lot of live shows for the BBC. So there's the Doctor Who at the Proms, where I played a Whisper Man, and then the Symphonic Spectacular in Australia and New Zealand, where I went twice, and also the Symphonic Spectacular in the UK.
Wow. So Doctor Who is something you've really enjoyed working on, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it wasn't something that I would have ever predicted when I left school. Also, I wasn't expected to actually do anything when I left school because I didn't have any grades. And kind of back then, they kind of looked at your grades and went, you should be a plasterer. And there you go. So I just carried on doing what I enjoyed in life, regardless of money. I'm not really driven by money, I'm just driven by doing what I enjoy. So I just carried on going, and then eventually things happened for me.
Yep. I don't need to ask you the third question because you've answered that. Talking now. The fourth question is, what's your favourite TV show and film, if you've worked on film, that you worked on?
Favourite as in watching or being there?
Either.
Well, obviously it's got to be Doctor Who's my favourite TV show that I've worked on because I've met some amazing actors and had such a good time. My favourite film I worked on was probably Rogue One. I did 4 days in the Jeddah village scene. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play any of the creatures, but I was a Jeddah villager, and it was just amazing being on the set of a Star Wars movie, seeing how everything's done. And you do see my chin go past camera for about a second.
Alright, I'll have to get my brother to check that.
Yeah.
I've never watched a Star Wars film, I've not got around to it yet.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, my main passion is Sherlock Holmes, but I've never got around to watching Star Wars, but I am going to watch them all at one point, just to give it a go. Because everyone talks about it, everybody knows about Star Wars.
Yeah.
You've got to watch Star Wars.
Start with A New Hope, don't worry about the first 3.
Yeah.
Halt! Stop right there. Where are you taking these prisoners?
These are prisoners.
Yes, where are you taking them?
I am taking them to imprison them in prison.
He is taking us to...
Quiet! And there's a fresh one if you mouth off again.
We'll take them from here.
That's okay. If you could just point me in the right direction, I can take them, I'm sure. I've taken them this far.
Take them away.
Wait! You can't take them away.
You, stay here. We need to check your diagnostics.
Diagnostics? I'm capable of running my own diagnostics, thank you very much.
Let them pass in peace. Let them pass in peace. The Force is with me, and I am with the Force. And I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
Hey, stop right there. He's blind. Is he deaf? I said stop right there.
Is your foot all right?
Question 5. What's the hardest or most challenging TV show or film that you would say you've worked on?
Good question. I'd probably say when we did the Name of the Doctor episode and we were dressed as the Whispermen, the prosthetic we had took 3 hours to apply in the morning, so that was 4 o'clock in the morning. We also couldn't actually see anything because the final application was a stocking pulled over our heads. We couldn't breathe through our nose either, and also the stocking was cut and then glued to our lips, so we weren't really allowed to eat anything that was too messy. So yeah, that was probably the most challenging thing, and we did 5 days in a row. So yeah, at the end of those 5 days I was a little bit tired, my skin wasn't in great shape. However, I spent a year being a labourer on a building site, which was far more difficult, so so I never complained.
The doors require a key. The key is a word. Word is the Doctor's.
Here I am, late to my own funeral. Glad you could make it. Jenny?
Open the door, Doctor. Speak. Open your tomb.
No.
Because you know what's in there.
I will not open those doors.
The key is a word lost to time, a secret, hidden in the deepest shadow, and known to you alone. The answer to a question.
I will not open my tomb.
Doctor, what is your name? The Doctor's friends. Stop their hearts.
Madam, boys, combat formation. They are unarmed.
So away!
Do not divulge our military secrets.
Stop this. Leave them alone.
Your name, Doctor. Answer me.
Doctor?
Do you want me to do that again?
Doctor who?
Please, stop it.
Doctor who?
Unhappy, sir.
Leave him alone. Let him be.
Don't worry, sir. I think I've got him rattled.
Doctor who?
Please!
The TARDIS can still hear me. Lucky thing, since I'm indoors as being so useless.
Why did you open the door, sir? I had them on the run.
I didn't do it. I didn't say my name.
No, but I did.
Is everyone all right? Is everyone okay? Clara? Clara? Are you okay?
Oh, that was not nice.
No, I know. I'm sorry.
Now then, Dr. Simeon, or Mr. G Intelligence, whatever I call you, do you know what's in there?
For me, peace at last. For you, pain everlasting. Won't you invite us in?
Number 6. What's your favourite role you've played, and are there any other roles you'd like to play?
I think there's a couple of things I did. There was a TV show that only went on for one series called The Bastard Executioner, which was written by Kurt Sutter, that wrote Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
And he was writing it, producing it, and acting in it, which is a lot of work. So I was basically his body double. And the character's called the Dark Mute, and most of the time he had a hood up and a veil over his face. And then sometimes he had chainmail and had like a burnt prosthetic on his face as well. So any shots in the distance or from the behind that obviously wasn't him, they used me. But also in the show, his real wife was in it, Katie Sagal, who was or is Leela in Futurama, voice of Leela, and also probably most famously back in the 80s, she was Peggy from Married with Children. So that was amazing working alongside her. Also, the two characters had a bit of a love interest, so I was a little bit nervous to say the least. So that was really quite cool. Probably going back to Doctor Who, my favourite thing that I did there was the Headless Cyberman in the Pandorica Opens episode. So Amy Pond's fighting with the Cyberman head, and then the body walks around the corner with a head and an arm missing, which was actually me with a green bag over my head and a green sock over my arm. So that was really cool, and I got an action figure as well. So
yes,
that's a bonus.
I'm not too sure. I might have.
Yeah, it comes with the CD, the Pandorica.
Did you play the Cyberman, the broken Cyberman, in closing time?
No, I didn't. I did get asked to be in closing time, but I think I was away on tour in Australia or something like that with the Doctor Who Symphonic Spectacular.
So I've got that.
Oh, cool.
You will be assimilated.
Yeah? You're in whose body? Doctor? Who are you?
Hello, Amy. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Number 8, do you listen to any music, and if so, what sort of music do you listen to?
The sort of music that I listen to, there's only two types of music. There's good music and bad music. So I just listen to anything which I feel is good. So I listen to a lot of hip hop, more older stuff. I don't really listen to mumble rap because I can't understand what they're talking about. And I also, or I'd probably name bands that I like. So, big fan of Radiohead, as I said, the Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, NWA, all those hip hop bands from that era. Also, Queens of the Stone Age, I really like. And now with Spotify, it opens up lots of music because I just pick one song that I like and it will just give me a load of other songs that are very similar. But
Spotify, Deezer, you got everything now, haven't you?
yeah. So and especially filming music videos as well. It's that was a very good experience to sort of open myself up to new music.
Yeah. Question number 9: which directors have you enjoyed working with, and are there any you'd like to work with in the future?
There's been a lot of really great directors. One of my favourite directors is Josh Agnew. He did a lot of directing on a show called Wizards vs. Aliens, which was written by Russell T Davies. And he is one of the nicest directors I've ever met. And he was just funny and just had a good time and had a laugh, and obviously he took his job seriously, but you know, the whole process of filmmaking is enjoying it whilst you're doing it. So I recently met him on Poldark, which I appear as a footman. In fact, that's probably angry, so I'll have to have a look. He was really cool. Graham Harper was really cool. Ed Bazalgate, who also directed Doctor Who, and Class as well, that I made a little appearance in the first episode.
I watched Class, I thought it was very good. I was disappointed that the second season wasn't made.
Yeah, unfortunately with the TV and film business, these things happen all the time.
It was a very young take on Torchwood, I believe.
Yes.
Similar to Torchwood.
Yeah.
And it was very good, the characters, the way they did it, it was good.
Yeah. Directors that I'd like to work with, well, there's too many to choose from, really. Well, directors that I like their films, I'm a big fan of David Fincher and all of his work. Also, Peter Jackson, I grew up watching his horror movies, Brain Dead, Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles. That would be really cool. Obviously, Spielberg would be pretty amazing. But I'm open to everyone, really.
Yeah. Question number 10. Which writers and authors have you enjoyed working with, and again, which ones would you like to work with in the future?
A lot of the time you don't actually meet the writers when you're on set. Obviously, Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat were on set a lot.
Because they're not just the writers.
Yeah, they're the showrunners. So, but writers that, say, worked on Doctor Who that I've met, that I've had quite a good time with, Rob Shearman, who wrote Dalek.
Yes.
He was really cool. Also,
that was the first Dalek episode since a reboot series.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Matheson. He wrote Mummy on the Orient Express and Oxygen.
Enjoyed those two, yeah.
yeah.
I have seen all of them. I'm not just saying I've enjoyed
Yeah.
them. I really do enjoy
Yeah.
them. I've watched every episode.
Yeah, he turned up on the set and he was really nice. Loads. Yeah, you know, the writers are the ones that actually come up with the creative ideas, like straight off, and all these crazy, wacky things that you see is kind of down to them. But yeah, there are many of the writers I haven't actually seen on set, but those are the sort of couple that I've met.
Question 11. Do you have a favourite book series, and who is your favourite author?
Ooh, well, this is a funny one. I've never read a book.
Oh, wow.
Ever. In my life. Which might sound strange to some people.
I've read books, but I've never actually got past like chapter 2 or something.
Yes. I'm very dyslexic. If you give me something to read, it will probably sound like a 4-year-old.
I read something and I forget, and then I have to go back. That's the trouble with my reading.
Yeah. So I always thought it was a bit of a problem until I heard stories of people like David Fincher, the director. He's a non-reader. Einstein, Richard Branson, and Tom Cruise were all dyslexic.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's something I think at an early age it's like instilled in you. You have to be able to read and write well, but most creative people that I know have problems with reading and writing, as in, you know, artistic people. Most of my musicians are friends who have dyslexia, and I have so many artists and photographer friends that are all colourblind. So you know, it's not letting any shortcomings in your life sort of determine what you want to do.
As an actor, as an actor and photographer, should I say? Because photography is your other main subject, isn't it?
Sure.
As an actor and photographer, sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah.
How do you feel your career has adapted over the years, and which areas do you feel you need to improve in?
I guess as a photographer and filmmaker, technology has changed quite a lot, and it's facilitated you to do a lot of things that you couldn't do. So you can do things a lot quicker and cheaper because camera technology has moved on. And I don't know, as an actor, I'd probably say it's always a learning experience. You never learn everything. It's always changing, and you're learning. Doing the creature stuff, the materials that are used in the costumes have changed quite a lot. So the Cybus industry, Cybermen were made out of fiberglass and were very heavy, but now a lot of the costume makers are using EVA foam, which is what cosplayers use, and also flexible rubber that looks like metal. So yeah, technology I think is playing a kind of big part in the things that I do and how things are now changing.
Final question. Have you enjoyed this interview today, and what advice would you give me for my future job as a film director and actor?
I have enjoyed the interview. No, it was great. Advice I would say, it's a very unusual industry. I would probably say, especially as an actor, probably 90-95% of what you do will be being rejected by people.
I've had that with the rest of my interviews so far.
Yes, so
150.
Yeah. It can be demoralising, but at the same time, you can't take it personally because it's nothing on you. You could be the best person for the job, but it doesn't necessarily mean you will get it. All I'd probably say is just do what you enjoy in life, and if you can make a career out of it, then you've cracked the code.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really nice meeting you.
And nice meeting you too.